Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again, and today we're actually going to go back to Phyrexia Will Be One because there's one card that I hadn't covered from the Commander decks that I really wanted to do, and that card is Neyali, Sun's Vanguard, 2 red and a white for a 3/3 human rebel. And attacking creatures you control have double strike. Attacking tokens you control have double strike, I should say. And whenever one or more tokens you control attack a player, exile the top card of your library. During any turn you attack with a token, you may play that card. So, it's a fun little card, to be fair. It is very much a red-white token strategy, which you would expect with this deck. And the actual ability to exile the cards and play them off the top is really cool. So, what does the deck look like? Well, to start with, all the usual red-white lands are in the deck. Command towers in. I've got the battlements in because we are playing the garrison as well because it does produce tokens. A whole load of mountains, a whole load of plains. Plateaus in, so if you don't want to play plateau, just replace this with another jewel of your type or another plains or a mountain, whatever you feel like, really. And Temple of the False Gods here and Reliquary Towers here as normal, so we haven't gone too mental on it this time. Ramp wise, kept it fairly simple. Mox Tantalite, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talismanic Conviction, because we have nothing in the deck that costs 4 or more. Apart from when we obviously have to replay Neyala. Neylia? Nay. We'll call it Nay, because Neyal. That's it. There we go. Um, so from that point of view, it shouldn't be too bad to put together. So how are we going to do this? So we've got basically make lots of tokens. We've only got 18 creatures in the deck. We have got 46 other spells and only 35 lands because I kept it low because of the low casting cost. Everything top out at 3 basically. Most of the cards were at 3. So in the one slot, Ajani's welcome, so we gain some life when creatures enter the control. Notice it says creatures, doesn't matter about tokens. Authority of Consul, so when your opponents play creatures, we gain life as well because we need to stay in the game. Condemn I've put in over Path to Exile. I don't like giving my opponents lands unless I have to, so I went with Condemn because the life gain I'm not that fussed about when I've got double striking tokens. Huzzah the Marshal is in as well, because when we attack with this, we get a 1/1 soldier creature token, because, with lifelink, which also helps, gives us a blocker. Legion's Landing, once we get to attack with 3, we get to flip it and make vampires every turn with lifelink. And Paladin class. Basically, you want to get this up to level 2, so all your creatures get that little bit bigger when they come into play. 2/2 creatures is going to be better than 1/1 creatures, which is what a lot of the tokens are, believe it or not. Just making this a little bit smaller so it fits in. In the 2-drop, Hanwha Militia Captain, because we can control 4 more creatures at the beginning of your upkeep. You get to flip it into the cult leader and then get a token at the end of each turn. Intangible Virtue, make our tokens bigger, give them vigilance. Raise the Alarm for tokens, Server Expedition for tokens, and Skrell's Hive. Now, you're probably wondering why this is here. There are a lot of toxic decks being played on MTGO in the commander rooms at the moment. And a lot of people do end up with 3 poison counters. You do not have to be the one to make them on 3 poison. Because as long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters, creatures you control have lifelink. And it's really easy. It's only an opponent has 3 or more. Yeah? So it's also a really nice way of giving all your creatures lifelink on the cheap and having some little mites. Yes, they can't block, but people are going to ignore them. They're going to take a bit of poison and it just builds up and it builds up and it builds up. Anyway, Battlecry Goblins here as well. Pump all your goblins up, and when you get to attack, if you've got the pack tactics going, you get to have another goblin come into play, which taps and attacking. Red deck, docksides here. Yep, okay. Dragon Fodder gives you tokens. Forbidden Friendship gives you tokens. The dinosaurs got haste if that makes anything different. Goblin Bombardment gives you a way to survive having things raft out of the way, or -2/-2 across the board. You can sack the creature to the bombardments and just ping someone to death with that. Likewise, Impact Tremors is here. You get a lot of tokens coming into play. They do damage to everybody when they come into play. Made sense to me. Krenko's Command for more goblins. And then Bard, Agravian Recruiters also here. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power, create a 1/1 white soldier token. Now, if I've understood the rules properly, if you have a soldier token coming to play that's 1/1 and you have intangible virtue, make it +1/+1. It means its power and its toughness is a lot higher, so you should get the token every turn. I may be wrong, but I think I'm right. Lightning Helix, just to control the book, just a little bit of removal. I've talked about Arcane Signet Talisman. I'm still trying to do the Halo Fountain win. I figured this is probably one of the best ways I've got, or the best chance I've got of doing it. Inspiring Leader means that when this in play and Neyali is in play, all your tokens get very big very quickly. Master's Core gives us a couple of instant speed Mir tokens. Monastery Mentor, for when we do cast all those non-creature spells, we get some monks of prowess. Path of Bravery gives all our creatures +1/+1, and whenever one or more creatures attack, you gain life equal to number of attacking creatures, and if that pumps you above 40, then they're going to get a little power and toughness boost. Prava, the Steel Legion's a no-brainer in this deck. You're playing tokens, +1/+4 on your turn. Yep, makes sense to me. Queen's Commission, more vampires with lifelink. Radiant Destiny. Choosing a creature type's quite easy. Choose Soldier. There's not a lot of the point of choosing it. Most of the things we produce off the tokens, believe it or not, are soldiers. I know it says clerics, but servos are there, but you can pick whatever you want. So it's either going to be goblins or soldiers. I think when I did the count up, it's mainly soldiers that it works with, so bear that in mind. Rally for the Throne, it gives you human creature tokens. Sworn Companions give you soldiers. Brimaz gives you cat soldiers. Glorious Anthem pumps all the creatures up. Spear of Heliod pumps all the creatures up and gives you a way of destroying things that have dealt you damage, which could be helpful. Hanwha Garrison I've already mentioned because the battlements is here. It's white. Red deck, Jessica's Wheels in as well, just for that mana ramp, we might need it. Krenko here for the goblins. Legion War Boss for the goblins. And Urbrask's Forge. This seemed like the ideal deck to me to have this in. I've been playing a lot in Standard. I love this card in Standard. I've got a whole Standard deck built around this card, and I really enjoy playing it. And in this deck, it really does work well, especially one of the cards we've got coming up in a second. Challenger I've chucked in, just so we can have the tokens for the elemental ones. Hammer of Bogadon to give all our creatures haste, so our tokens can attack, they come in. Ding. Hordling Outburst is the last of the 3 drops, just to give us 3 goblins. So, Radiant Destiny, you've got a good choice between soldiers and goblins, depending which ones you've got most of in play at the time. Anointed Procession is obviously a no-brainer in this deck. You need to double up the amount of tokens you're getting, hence why it's here. Captain's Call for some more soldiers. And Miriel, Shield of Argive, gives you lots and lots of soldiers when you get to attack with it. So, yeah. Release to Memory. Exile target opponent's graveyard. For each creature card exiled this way, create a 1/1 colourless spirit creature token. Again, another card I forgot existed from the Neon Dynasty Commander stuff. It is really good, especially with some of the graveyard decks that are kicking around at the moment. You do get a lot of spirit tokens, and it's really great if you do that after you've got Anointed Procession in play. Smothering Tithe gives you that extra mana source you need. Again, it'll probably mean people get very annoyed with you and disenchant it, whatever. But sooner they did that than on some of the other things we're playing. Ajani, Strength of the Pride is here, just so we can get the +1 gain, that extra gain the life equal to the number of creatures. And if need be, can do the 0. Exile that, and each artifact and creature your opponents control. If you've got 15 more, so if you're on 55 life, you'll get there very quickly. Court of Grace makes us the monarch, gives us a spirit at the minimum each turn, and then if we are still the monarch, we get an angel instead, which is lovely. Emeria Angel does the whole landfall trick and gives us little birds that fly. Blade of Hero of Bladehold gives us the soldiers tapped and attacking when it comes into play, and Leyline of the Meek just pumps all our creature tokens up to start with, especially if we could do it for free at the beginning of the game. Mondrake is here as well. We might as well have the white Dominus in this deck to make sure we double up those tokens that we're getting. It's a slight creature version of Anointed Procession, really. So, big score for a bit of card draw and some token production. Dance with the Devils just to give us those nice devils that can ping things when they die. Porphyros. Yeah, Porphyros is probably going to be the main win condition in this deck, I'll be honest about it, even though we want to attack and do the double strike thing. All the tokens that we have coming into play do 2 damage to everybody. Again, it's a card that makes you a target, so be warned. I have warned you. End of warning. Beetleback Chief, just because it's 4 mana for 4 powers worth of creatures. With the Noise of the Procession in play, it's even better because you get 6 power worth of creatures. Krenko Mob Boss. This is the other reason. This is why I'm umming and ahhing with Radiant Destiny. We've got enough goblins that we could do it this way, but it's your call. It depends what you've really pulled when you're playing the deck. Getting more goblins, you name Radiant Destiny on goblins. If you're getting more soldiers, name it on soldiers. It depends if you've got this or you've hit Miriel really early on, is my call. Zarya, Archduke of Avarice is just for the +1 ability. Sorry. Creatures you control get +1 and gain haste until the end of turns. You can drop a whole load of tokens out and then drop this, +1 them, give them +1 and haste. Get in, get the double strike on the go. Two ones double striking are always a little bit more difficult to deal with. Heroic reinforcements, create a couple of soldiers, and then till the end of the turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste. It's like a bit of a no-brainer. And the last slot, I was zooming and ahhing about playing Blasphemous Act. I decided against it because I decided to go with Outlaw's Merriment because, beginning your upkeep, who doesn't want a random bit of randomness and see what creature you get when you have the beginning of your upkeep. And it is quite a strong deck. Even with 35 lands in the deck, it really does work a lot better than I expected in the couple of test games I've played with it. Again, it's a deck you'll see on stream sometime soon. So, there's a link down below to the stream. But, be aware that this is probably going to be one of the top token commanders from my point of view going forward in Magic for a long time. If you haven't picked one up yet on MTGO, I suggest you go and get one. If you have got one, you might want to look at it and take it out of the deck and start building around it as soon as you can, because it is going to be that good. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really hope you've hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment, let me know what I've missed out. Hit the like button. If you're going to hit the dislike button, what I would say is I had a few people hit the dislike button recently, but they don't leave a comment. If you're going to do it, I don't mind, but just leave me a comment as to why you disliked it. Is it me? Is it the way I present things? Is it something you don't like in the deck? Just let me know, because then, I will take the feedback on. I do want to try and build the little YouTube channel up here to a reasonable level and get a bit more notice on the go. So if you can let me know why you dislike a video, I'd really appreciate it. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. See you soon. Bye.